I played the Ryman several times and I still get a moment there.
You'd think touring with a former Beatle would be all peace, love, and laid-back vibes, but Ringo Starr runs a much tighter ship than you'd expect. Behind the legendary smile and iconic drum fills are some seriously strict rules that every band member and crew member must follow, or they're out. Join us as we uncover the weird, strict rules Ringo Starr forces his staff to follow. From sickbed to star. Before the rules, before the All-Star Band, before the decades of global tours, Ringo Starr was just Richard Starkey, a working-class kid from Liverpool with a big personality and an even bigger love for rhythm. Born on July 7, 1940, Ringo grew up in a small neighborhood called the Dingle, where life was tough, money was tight, and opportunities were few. He spent much of his childhood in and out of hospitals due to serious illnesses, including a ruptured appendix and tuberculosis, which kept him bedridden for months at a time. But instead of falling behind, he found a deep interest in music during those quiet recovery years. Ringo didn't start out on the drums. In fact, he didn't even own a proper drum kit for a long time. His first exposure to percussion came when he was given a simple toy drum as a gift. That little spark would grow into a lifelong obsession. By his teenage years, he was hooked on skiffle music, a popular genre in the UK at the time that mixed jazz, blues, and folk. He eventually got behind a real drum kit and began playing with local bands around Liverpool. In the late 1950s, Ringo joined a band called Rory Storm and the Hurricanes. They were popular in Liverpool and even toured in Germany, the same music circuit where another local band was just getting started, the Beatles. Back then, the Beatles were still without a permanent drummer. The two groups often crossed paths in clubs, and Ringo quickly made an impression. In 1962, Ringo officially joined the Beatles, replacing drummer Pete Best. It was a major turning point in music history. With John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and now Ringo Starr, the Fab Four was complete. At first, not everyone accepted the change. Fans were attached to Pete Best, but Ringo's charm, humor, and rock-solid timing on the drums won them over quickly. As the Beatles exploded onto the global scene, Ringo became more than just the drummer in the back. He developed a devoted fan base of his own, especially admired for his down-to-earth nature and distinctive drumming style. Unlike many flashier drummers of the time, Ringo focused on serving the song. His playing was always tight, precise, and full of groove. You may not always notice it right away, but his work behind the kit was key to the Beatles' sound. During his time with the band, Ringo sang lead on a few iconic tracks like With a Little Help from My Friends, Yellow Submarine, and Octopus's Garden. His voice, warm and easygoing, added a new texture to the group's catalog and showed that he wasn't just a drummer, he was a full member of the creative team. After the Beatles broke up in 1970, Ringo launched a solo career that surprised many with its success. He released a string of hit songs, including Photograph It Don't Come Easy and You're 16. He also dabbled in acting, appearing in several films and TV projects. But it was in the late 80s that he truly found his long-term touring identity with the formation of the Ringo Starr and his All-Star Band, a rotating supergroup made up of famous musicians from various rock and pop backgrounds. Since then, Ringo has never slowed down. He's toured nearly every year, constantly bringing music to fans around the world. Even in his 80s, he's showing no signs of stepping away. But what many don't realize is that the way he runs his tours, with structure, fairness, and a few surprising rules, is a big reason why his band stays solid and his shows remain energetic. Now that you know who Ringo Starr really is, let's dive into the strict rules he sets for his band and crew. Zero drama policy. When people think of Ringo Starr, they often imagine the smiling drummer flashing a peace sign, always talking about love, unity, and good vibes. But behind the scenes, Ringo runs a very tight ship, and his #1 rule is simple: no drama, ever. This isn't just a nice idea or a casual suggestion. It's a strict policy that everyone who joins his all-star band must follow without question. Ringo believes that a successful tour starts with the right attitude. For him, that means leaving your ego behind. It doesn't matter how famous you are, how many records you've sold, or how talented you might be. If you bring drama, you're not welcome. Ego clashes, arguments, or personal feuds are not tolerated under any circumstances. Ringo expects everyone to work together as one team. No one should act like a star, even though many of the musicians in his band are stars in their own right. Whether you're a lead guitarist or a sound technician, everyone is treated the same, and everyone is expected to treat each other with respect. This team-first mindset is what sets Ringo's tours apart. He doesn't want anyone thinking they're more important than the person next to them. It's not just about putting on a great show, it's about creating a positive, peaceful working environment where people can do their best without the stress of backstage arguments or power struggles. One of the people who knows Ringo's work style best is Jeff Jonas, his longtime drum technician. Jeff has worked with Ringo for years and has seen firsthand how seriously this rule is taken. According to Jeff, the no-drama rule isn't just something Ringo talks about, it's something he lives by every day. He leads by example and sets the tone for the rest of the team. Ringo doesn't act like he's better than anyone else, even though he's one of the most legendary musicians in the world. He doesn't demand special treatment or put himself above others. He expects everyone else to follow that example. Jeff has said that nobody is allowed to cause trouble on tour. That includes personal issues, workplace gossip, or even small arguments that could distract from the team's goal. If someone brings negativity into the mix, it's dealt with quickly and firmly. Everyone is expected to focus on the job and respect the people around them. What makes this rule so powerful is how simple it is. There are no complicated rules or exceptions. Everyone knows what's expected of them, and everyone is responsible for keeping things running smoothly. In an industry where backstage fights, ego battles, and tension are common, this kind of environment is rare. Many artists allow a certain amount of chaos to exist behind the scenes. Not Ringo. He's made it clear that harmony is not optional, it's essential, and it works. His band members know exactly where they stand. There's a clear understanding that personal problems stay off the stage. Everyone has a job to do, and the only way to succeed is by doing it together. This sense of accountability also creates trust. People feel safe and respected, and that allows them to give their best performance every night. When you're not worried about behind-the-scenes drama, you can focus completely on the music and the experience. Ringo doesn't just hope things go well. He makes sure they do by keeping the lines of communication open. After every show, the team sits down for a post-show reflection session. These meetings are not about pointing fingers or blaming anyone. They're about honest, respectful conversation. Everyone talks about what went well, what could be improved, and how to make the next show even better. Ringo himself takes part in these sessions. He doesn't sit above everyone else giving orders. He listens, he shares his thoughts, and most importantly, he makes space for others to speak freely too. Now, what happens if someone breaks this rule? The answer is simple. They're not invited back. There are no second chances, no long arguments, and no drawn-out drama. If someone causes problems, they're quietly removed from the group when the tour ends. Ringo doesn't make a big deal out of it. He just makes sure the peace of the team stays intact. This policy might seem strict, but it's one of the main reasons his band works so well. Everyone knows where the line is, and no one wants to cross it. The result is a positive, professional environment that allows great music to shine. Stick around. Next, we'll dive into why rest days don't exist on Ringo's tours and how he keeps his team moving night after night. No days off. When Ringo Starr goes on tour, he doesn't treat it like a relaxing trip or a break from daily life. For him, touring is serious business. It's about showing up, giving your all, and doing it night after night without slowing down. He's not in it for luxury or leisure. He's there to perform, and that mindset affects everyone around him. Ringo has a clear philosophy when it comes to touring. No time should be wasted. The purpose of being on tour is to play shows, not to sit around in hotel rooms or explore cities. He believes every day spent not performing is a missed opportunity. It's not about squeezing in a few shows and then relaxing. It's about doing as many shows as possible while the band is on the road. For Ringo, this is the only way to tour. He expects a schedule that keeps the momentum going. Once a tour begins, it's full steam ahead. Everyone is expected to stay focused and ready to perform almost every single night. It's intense, but it's also what makes his tours so strong and successful. Dave Hart, one of the key people responsible for organizing Ringo's tour logistics, knows this philosophy well. Dave has shared stories about how Ringo often personally requests more shows during the tour planning process. If there's a gap in the schedule, a day without a concert, Ringo doesn't see it as a break. He sees it as downtime that could be better used playing music. Dave explained that Ringo is not the type to sit still. Even at his age, he pushes for a packed calendar. He's not looking for rest days or long travel breaks. Instead, he prefers back-to-back shows and tight scheduling. His mindset is clear. If you're out on tour, you should be performing. This attitude might surprise people, especially since many artists choose easier tour schedules with lots of breaks. But Ringo wants to make the most of every minute on the road. It's how he's always done it, and it's how he continues to operate today. So why does Ringo avoid off days? It's not about money. He's made it clear that he doesn't tour for profit. He tours because he loves to play music. He feels lucky to still be doing what he loves, and he treats every performance as something special. To Ringo, a night on stage isn't just another task. It's a chance to connect with fans, celebrate life, and share peace and love. He doesn't see it as work. He sees it as a joy. So when a day goes by without a show, it feels like a missed moment, a missed chance to do something meaningful. That passion is what keeps him moving. It's not about adding numbers to a tour, it's about giving his all night after night because he still truly enjoys it. That attitude is rare, especially in someone who's been touring for decades. But for Ringo, the spark has never gone away. Of course, this kind of schedule affects more than just Ringo. It affects the whole team, band members, crew, and everyone involved. They're expected to keep up with his pace, and there's no room for anyone to fall behind. Ringo doesn't tolerate laziness or low effort. It's okay to feel exhausted. Touring is hard, but fatigue isn't a free pass to underperform. One of the most impressive things about Ringo's touring style is that he keeps the schedule well into his 80s. Most artists half his age would struggle with this kind of pace, but Ringo seems to thrive on it. He performs with the energy of someone much younger. Night after night, he gives the same effort, the same joy, and the same attention to detail. He doesn't slow down or take shortcuts. His stamina amazes both fans and fellow musicians, and that sets the standard for everyone else. If Ringo, at over 80 years old, can keep up this kind of routine, then the rest of the band has no excuse. His energy drives the entire team, and it pushes everyone to stay sharp, stay committed, and give their best. His love for the road is real, and it shows in everything he does, from how the tour is planned to how he steps on stage each night. No special treatment. One of the most unique things about touring with Ringo Starr is how everyone is treated the same, from the lighting crew to the headliner himself. While many famous artists create distance between themselves and their team, Ringo does the exact opposite. He believes in equality, respect, and shared experience. And it's not just words. It's the way his tours actually work, day in and day out. Ringo has a firm rule: no special treatment for anyone, including himself. That means no luxury hotel suites just for him, no private dressing rooms with special furniture, and no exclusive menus. Everyone travels together, stays in the same hotels, eats the same meals, and lives under the same conditions. There's no Ringo-only space where others aren't allowed. No staff is assigned just to pamper him. He travels with his band and crew like one of the group, not like a rock star above them. This choice is deliberate. It's part of his core values. He doesn't believe fame should create distance. This setup sets the tone for the whole tour. If the most famous person in the room isn't asking for special treatment, no one else feels the need to either. It keeps the mood humble and the work environment fair. Donnie Whitman, a longtime crew member and part of the All-Starr band tour family, has talked openly about Ringo's commitment to equality. Donnie has said that Ringo makes it very clear he is not above the team. There are no exceptions to this. From the way hotel rooms are booked to how backstage spaces are shared, the rules are the same for everyone. What's important is that this isn't just for show. Ringo doesn't do this to appear humble. It's real, and it's consistent. No matter who joins the band or how big the tour is, this approach never changes. It's built into the structure of how the tour operates. Donnie points out that this style creates a culture where people work harder, trust each other more, and feel proud to be part of something honest. When you know you're treated with the same respect as everyone else, including the boss, you give your best. The All-Starr Band is known for bringing together musicians from different famous groups and backgrounds. Some are legends in their own right, others are newer to the spotlight. But once you join Ringo's tour, your resume doesn't give you extra privileges. There's no hierarchy. Everyone is part of the same team. Whether you're a former frontman of a chart-topping band or a new guitarist just joining in, you're treated equally. You rehearse the same way, eat the same food, stay in the same hotels, and travel the same way as everyone else. Ringo doesn't allow fame or past success to define how someone is treated on tour. This levels the playing field and avoids the kind of ego battles that many bands struggle with. The result is a more relaxed, united group that works better together on and off the stage. One of the most powerful examples of Ringo's approach to equality is the way he acts around the group. He doesn't hide in his dressing room or demand privacy. He shows up to meals, hangs out backstage, and jokes around like everyone else. He's fully present with the team. People say Ringo is one of the most approachable artists they've ever worked with. He listens, laughs, and talks with everyone, whether you're a stagehand, tech, or bandmate. There's no ego, no distance, and no "I'm the star" attitude. He's simply part of the team, and he acts like it at every moment. By removing status and special perks, Ringo creates a space where everyone feels valued. That's rare in the music industry, where it's common for artists to distance themselves from their staff and crew. In Ringo's world, unity comes first, and that's why people stay. In fact, many of the musicians and crew members return tour after tour. They come back not just for the gigs, but because they enjoy working with Ringo and being part of a team that treats everyone fairly. The positive energy is real, and it starts at the top. Gym before gigs. If there's one thing that stands out about Ringo Starr's touring life, it's that health isn't just encouraged, it's expected, not through rules or pressure, but through example. At 80+ years old, Ringo lives a clean, disciplined lifestyle that many decades younger would struggle to keep up with. And on tour, his commitment to fitness and wellness has created a ripple effect that keeps the whole team in top shape. Ringo Starr is a strict vegetarian. He doesn't eat processed foods, avoids sugar, and pays close attention to what he puts into his body. He's been living this way for years, and it's not just about appearances. It's about feeling good and staying strong. Even on the road, where touring life is often filled with junk food, erratic sleep, and long travel hours, Ringo keeps his discipline. He travels with his personal trainer and makes time for regular gym sessions, even if it means waking up earlier or skipping post-show indulgences. This isn't something he brags about. He just does it, quietly, consistently, and with purpose. For Ringo, being in shape is part of being ready to perform. He treats his health like a responsibility to himself, to the fans, and to the team. There are no official health rules on Ringo's tour. He doesn't hand out diet plans or tell people to go to the gym, but because he leads by example, the health culture grows naturally. Others see how he lives and want to keep up. One crew member once joked that if you're around Ringo long enough, you'll eventually start caring more about what you eat and how much you move. It just happens. His discipline sets the tone. In fact, a regular 10:30 a.m. gym group started forming on tour, not because it was scheduled, but because others were inspired to join him. At first, it was just Ringo and his trainer. Then a couple of bandmates joined in. Eventually, several members of the crew were working out regularly too. All of it happened because Ringo showed the way. This quiet influence builds a healthy atmosphere without force. No lectures, just strong habits and a consistent example. There's a famous story from one tour when a band member showed up for rehearsal wearing cowboy boots. Stylish, but not great for cardio-heavy performance routines. When the sessions started getting physically intense, the boots clearly didn't work. By the next day, that band member had on proper sneakers and athletic clothes. Ringo never said a word. He didn't have to. The message was clear. If you want to keep up, you have to be ready. Stories like this show how Ringo leads. He doesn't bark orders or call people out. But when he shows up prepared, healthy, and energized, others quickly realize they need to match his level or fall behind. It's a quiet but powerful kind of leadership. The shows Ringo and his All-Starr Band put on aren't lazy, slow-paced concerts. They are high energy, tight, and demand real stamina. That level of performance doesn't come easily, especially not when touring across cities day after day. Ringo knows that fitness is the foundation of long-term performance. His clean eating and consistent workouts allow him to keep up with the demands of touring, even into his 80s. He sings, plays drums, moves across the stage, and never looks out of breath. And it all starts with Ringo himself. He doesn't lecture, he doesn't judge, and he doesn't demand. He simply lives the way he believes, and others follow. That's why people come back for multiple tours. It's not just the music. It's the energy, the balance, and the feeling of being part of something built on respect for the body and the craft. Bad vibes get fired. When you're on tour with Ringo Starr, there's one rule that everyone knows by heart. You have to have fun. It's not a bonus. It's not a side effect. It's an actual requirement. Ringo has built his band, his crew, and his touring life around one main idea. Joy is essential. The atmosphere isn't just professional. It's positive, playful, and full of energy. And that's exactly how Ringo wants it. We're not here to be tortured. Enjoy it. That's something Ringo has said more than once, and he means it. Touring with Ringo isn't about surviving long days, dragging through performances, or just doing your job. It's about loving the work and having fun every step of the way. Whether you're a famous musician in the spotlight or a lighting tech in the background, the message is the same. This should be exciting, not exhausting. Sure, the tour schedule is intense, the expectations are high, but that doesn't mean anyone is supposed to be miserable. Ringo believes that if you're not finding joy in what you do, you're doing it wrong. That attitude shapes the entire tour culture. Backstage at a Ringo show doesn't feel like a tense, high-pressure workplace. It feels like a bunch of friends putting on a show together. There's a constant flow of jokes, pranks, and laughter. People are smiling, conversations are upbeat, and that tone starts at the top. Ringo is always part of the fun. He's cracking jokes, he's teasing the band, he's sharing funny stories. He's just as happy joking with the crew as he is rehearsing with the All-Starr band. His sense of humor is part of what keeps the energy light, even during long travel days or after tough shows. This lightness isn't accidental. It's built into how the tour runs. When the leader is relaxed and cheerful, it gives everyone else permission to let go of stress. That builds a tour environment where people not only work hard, but they also actually enjoy being around each other. Ringo also takes morale seriously. He's not just focused on music. He pays attention to people. That includes band members, crew, drivers, assistants, and everyone. If someone seems down, Ringo notices. If someone's unusually quiet or looks tired, he might check in. He doesn't make a show of it, but he genuinely cares. People on the tour often say that Ringo makes everyone feel seen, and that's part of what keeps morale high. He's also quick to offer support or a quick joke to lift someone's spirits. That kind of leadership, warm, casual, and personal, keeps small issues from becoming big problems. It makes the group feel more like a community than a workplace. Of course, the musicians in the All-Starr band are talented, but Ringo doesn't just look for skill, he looks for attitude. In fact, positivity is often more important than perfection. If someone has a bad attitude, if they complain a lot, bring down the mood, or act like they're too important to have fun, they won't last long. It doesn't matter how well they play. If they don't match the vibe, they don't come back. Ringo wants people who bring good energy, musicians who smile on stage, crew members who support each other, people who show up with a good spirit, even when they're tired. That mindset makes every tour stronger. When everyone is upbeat, the music feels better, the shows flow easier, and the whole team works better together. If you've ever seen Ringo perform live, you've seen how much he loves it. He's smiling, dancing, and laughing with the crowd. He waves the peace sign, talks between songs, and has real fun with his bandmates. That joy isn't faked, it's real, and you can feel it. That energy spills over to the audience. People don't just hear great music, they see people having a great time playing it. That's contagious. The crowd becomes part of the moment, and the show becomes more than just a concert. It becomes a celebration. The band feels it too. When the person leading you is having a blast, it's hard not to enjoy yourself. The fun creates momentum. It keeps spirits high even when the schedule is tough. It makes the entire tour feel like something special. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a story from behind the scenes.